Well, this is Paul Kellerman again with MMA Sucker with Tricky Nick Marino. So Nick, tell us about yourself.
Oh, my name's Nick Marino. I've been doing martial arts ever since I was a kid, and now I just want to step it up to the next level. And I'm training hard for my first fight, which is actually tomorrow at Fight at the View, and we'll see where it takes me from there.
So you're doing Fight at the View tomorrow night.
Yes, that's correct.
Would this be your first fight?
This is my fight debut yet. And I also have another fight May the 15th in Battlefield in the cage. So hopefully, after I break this guy in two tomorrow, I'll be ready for the May 15th fight.
It's good to see a guy that has a lot of confidence going into his first fight there.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you finally get started in this?
Oh, when I was younger, I'm one of three triplets, born and raised in North Vancouver. And
Did you say three?
yes, there's three of me. We're three brothers, and we're all identical. First born in Lionsgate Hospital.
Right.
I had a bit of a tough upbringing. We fought each other a lot, and going through elementary school right up to high school, we got picked on a lot because we were different, according to the other kids. So, it was a tough upbringing. Not only that, growing up on the Native Indian Reserve when you look white was also quite a challenge too. So, it's fighting's nothing new to me.
Okay.
And so I started doing, I started out with some Kung Fu. I watched a lot of Chuck Norris movies, loved Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was my idol, for years. I always used to watch that and go, I want to be like that one day.
Right.
And from all the fighting, and my mom started putting me in some Kung Fu classes, and then we went to kickboxing, and then I met a guy named Fred Shidian, who trained at a local church up on 13th Street, and I was 17 years old. I had gone through a lot of schools before, and none of it was like real fighting style, right? Until I met Fred Shadian at Cyclone Fighting Arts, and he really opened my eyes. I took one free lesson with him, and I thought, damn, this is it. This is the stuff that I want to learn. And I stuck with that guy for a long time. I learned a lot about weapons, a lot about street fighting, a lot about the different ranges, the different aspects of MMA, kicking, punching, trapping, grappling, and taking bits and pieces from other styles and mixing them together. And then one of the other students at the class one day was telling me about this. There's this band of cousins or brothers, and they're called Gracies. And no matter what you do, they grab you, they take you down, and they choke you out. And this is just before UFC came here. And I was like, I gotta check out one of these Gracies, right? And then another year went by, and I had forgotten about them. And then all of a sudden, Ultimate Fighting Championships came out. and I remember the Alex Gracie coming to the ring with his gi on, and I had remembered the story that my friend told me from my martial arts class, and I went, hey, that's the guy that my buddy was talking about. And I watched it, and the guy swept through every opponent. And then I learned about Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, and I thought, I gotta learn that stuff. Nowhere around here did anybody teach that stuff. So the only way that I could learn it at the time was to order videos on Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and watch them over and over again. And
Was that beneficial to you?
oh, definitely. Yeah, I practiced a lot of hours with my friends, just studying the tapes and everything, until finally they started teaching it around here. And then I dropped out of the martial arts for a bit, going through school and having to work and everything. And now that I'm older, I thought, I have all this knowledge, and I don't want to take it to the grave with me and waste it. And a lot of people were saying, Nick, you should open up a school. Nick, you should teach martial arts. Nick, you should get in the ring. And you know what? I'm doing it. So here I am today. Let's see where it takes me.
Now you mentioned earlier about your background and living here on the reserve.
Yes.
How has that affected you in getting into MMA?
Well, it's affected me a lot because, for one, it's definitely toughened me up. Growing up on the res, it's a beautiful place to live. I love it. This is my home. I call it home. And it just it's definitely toughened me up. I've had to fight a lot of times when I was younger. Fight a lot of the natives. A lot of the natives are they're pretty tough down here. There's a lot of these people come from a warrior background. So it's definitely made me a lot tougher. Being white, hey, you're the white kid, and sort of like you know, it was just, it was good. It was good for me.
Okay. So therefore, it's made your skin thicker to deal with racism
Definitely.
or placism, or whichever one you
Definitely.
want to
A
talk
lot of
about.
that doesn't happen anymore. It's not
Okay.
the same as when I was growing up, when I was younger. It was a lot different. But, you know, now it's, you know, times are different. And, you know, people aren't really racist anymore. And, you know, it's great. It's, you know, a good family environment. But just when, you know, a while back when I was younger, it was like that, definitely, hands down. And I love all my Native brothers, all my Native cousins and everything. And, you know, they've taught me a lot, and I thank them a lot. And I've been blessed to grow up down here.
Good to know. So we just heard a little guy barking in the background. Who's that?
That's my dog Dottie. We've got 2 Jack Russells running around here, Dottie and Shiner. They're
Okay.
both married, had 2 litters, and
They're both married.
they're both married. They're married. They've had 2 litters, and you know, I've had these dogs for, you know, going on 16 years now. So.
All right. Speaking of marriage, how about yourself?
I'm a single guy. I've been single for a year.
You've been single for a
For
year.
a year, yeah. So.
How does your ex think about you becoming an MMA fighter?
I don't think she really knows, and
Right.
you know, she's gone off in her own life, and you know, I'm doing my own thing, and like I said, we'll see where it takes me. That's something that I don't really think about right now. I don't go out. I don't go to parties. I don't
Right.
drink. I don't. You know, I'm just training right now. Right now, I'm just focusing on me.
Well, I watched you train the other day. It looked like it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
All right. So how often do you train?
Personally, myself, I train between 5 and 6 days a week, twice a day. Sometimes I even have to have my manager tell me to stop training. I have to force myself to stop training, because even though I work my body to the bone, like my spirit just wants to go. I just don't want to stop. You know, like I'm like a machine. I'm like a robot. I just want to keep training. So.
Excellent.
But I got to be smart about it. So
Yes, you do,
the
I
last
guess.
3-4 days, I've tapered it off. I haven't really trained too hard because I got my fight tomorrow. So I'm just letting my body tighten up, and I'm doing my cutting. So I've got the weigh-ins tonight, and I'm ready for tomorrow.
Excellent. So, where do you see yourself a year from now, Nick?
And a year from now, I definitely see myself as a pro MMA fighter.
Now, you just recently signed with MMA Sucker. How does that feel to have them as your first sponsor?
It feels great. I feel blessed. You know, I feel like everything's going my way. I was born Year of the Tiger, and it's Year of the Tiger right now. And you know, God's on my side, and I believe everything happens for a reason. So.
Is there any shout outs you'd like to give?
I'd like to make a shout out to Total Package Sports Management. My managers, Marcus Hicks and Amy Joy. I'd like to shout out to the Team Denarius fighters, Andy the Spartan Marinas, Sarah Dynamite McLeod, Jeremy the Jet Peaver. I'd like to also make a shout out to Jeff Mazzaros at North Vancouver Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Club, best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club around. Martial arts wizard and one of my best friends, my human performance coach, Mr. Fred Shidian. My strength and conditioning coach and one of my best friends, Danny Nendick. And I'd like to make another special shout out to MMA Sucker, my first sponsor. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you very much for this interview, and good luck with your fight tomorrow.
Thank you.